you give us an assessment of the collective movement in terms of voter registration? Have the huge marches that we've seen spiked voter registration, a sustained voter registration, and if not, why?
Well, there's a spike on citizenship.
Yeah. Well, we one of the things we did is we called a democracy summer, so that we could continue to do the marches. They need to continue to happen, the boycotts, all the activities. We just completed about this last weekend marches that happen in all throughout the country. So that continues to happen. But it's really critical that we show at the ballot box that we also have political power. So one of the elements of that is getting people to become citizens. And on July 1st, here in Los Angeles, we had the largest citizenship event throughout the country, where over 1,600 people became citizens, applied for citizenship on that day. And there were hundreds of these type of activities throughout the country. And many people are registering to vote. The challenge is getting that vote out, an educated vote. Because at the end of the day, what we want is, we don't want elected officials that criminalize our community to come back to Congress.
The recent studies show that there have been more than 1 million new applications for citizenship. And I saw some comments in the media, I think it's in the Associated Press story, that said there hasn't been a translation of the marches into people registering to vote. And they didn't ask any of us for comment, because we would have told them that that's a ridiculous assumption to think that, you know, by August you get the spike in voter registration, when all of the big organizations that do that kind of work, like Southwest Voter and LULAC and the unions, don't really kick into gear till September. So you see the surge in September and October. That's always been the pattern. You always do your registration work closer to the election. That's when you can generate more volunteers. And we have no doubt, this Congress, for example, will launch on Sundays doing training for 50 Southwest Voter Registration Education Campaign projects from across 4 or 5 states that will then launch out. Others will be setting up in different places. I have no doubt that this will be the largest comparative growth. We're comparing a non-presidential election, say compared to 2002 or 98 across the country, that we've ever seen. And we've looked at the numbers, and we project there'll be about 6.5 million Latino votes cast, or about 7% of the total. That'll be about 1 million more votes cast than in the 2002 election cycle in the Latino community. And it's just the beginning. You'll see 2008 will be off the charts. And I know some of the immigrant rights groups called for 1 million new voters by 2008, and then a lot of people said, well, that's really hard to do. It'd be twice that. By 2008, the Latino vote will be at 12 million registered voters, and about 80% will cast votes. So that surge is just starting.